Hi there, Karen Flaherty here from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be talking about the gate 32 in the human design weather, and this is all about duration and keeping the community together. So what we've got here is the sun in the gate 32, and this started last night, October 13th, and it goes until October 18th. We've also got the earth in the gate 42, which is called endings. So the 32 is right here off the spleen, off the bottom of the spleen, and the 42 is here off the bottom of the sacral. And so the 42 is called endings or completions. And we start the week again with a continued definition in the gate, in the channel 2034 for the entire week. We start the week with the 57 still in place so that the spleen is also defined. And then, and that gives us, that's through Sunday, and then it'll go away. And so some of the planets are still retrograde, including Mercury, till the end. That's until the 18th. The ones that are still retrograde are Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. But meanwhile, Saturn and the nodes have gone direct over the past week. So what everybody is still feeling is this 2034. As I said, we'll feel it till January, and then, but we're also feeling that spleen energy, which is very nurturing. It's a very nice energy to have. So, and then by Monday, only the channel 2034 will be in effect. And so that will define both the throat and the sacral for everybody. So with the sun in gate 32 and the earth in the gate 42, we've got the 32, which is all about duration. It's called duration or continuity in the original I Ching. And the way they define it is the only thing which endures is change. And don't we know that over the past 2 years, especially. So we've had a lot of changes and a lot of things have changed. And this duration is about it's actually part of the what we call the tribal circuit in human design, and it's also part of a subset is in the business circuit. So it's actually part of the business circuit in human design. It's really about making a community, creating a community, keeping the tribe together, keeping the community together in a way that's durable, right? In a way that allows for everybody to have what they need, do what keeps them at least employed, if not happy, and what allows the community to continue. And so it's really literally about the duration and continuity of our societies, of ourselves in an existential kind of way. And it's there for a reason, right? We want to keep going. So you can think of it in a business way, but it's only because we've gotten away from community and focused more on money, as I'll talk about in a moment, that we're more concerned about the way things are going than we probably need to be. And there's a fear because it's coming off the spleen. There's a fear there. It's the fear of failure, and it's the fear of failure as an individual, as a family, as a society, as a community, as a nation. All those things are possible given the kinds of things we're going through and the way we're dealing with them or not. So in this week, the incarnation crosses are the cross of the Maya, conservation and limitation, and then the gate 42 is all about endings and completions. It's called increase or growth because it's a cycle. It's part of a cycle in this particular channel. Where it starts with beginnings in the gate 53 and then endings in the gate 42. So it's a cycle of maturation, basically. And so the endings are a natural part of the process. It's where the increase in growth occurs in the original I Ching. And so the expansion of the resources maximize the development of full potential. And then basically you start over. So the endings will lead to more beginnings, right? And the cycle continues. So here, expectation is the shadow, detachment is the gift. In other words, where you're detached from the result or the outcome, and celebration is the CD. So here, Richard's saying that the highest purpose we humans have is to live well, right? And so that's what this gate 32 is about, where the shadow is failure, the gift is preservation, and the CD is veneration. And so what he's talking about here is that we we as humans just are always worried that we're going to fail, right? That we might fail. This fear comes off the spleen, and all of the gates within the spleen have the fears. But the fear is, it's a fear of survival, or a fear perhaps about survival. And during a pandemic, we do have fears about survival. I mean, that's a natural part of the process. And yet we still get to live well if we can during this period, if we can let go of the fears, if we can let go of those fears. It's always a balance between the fears and not fear, which we could call joy or contentment or bliss, or any of the other things that are much higher on the vibrational scale than fear. The fears are what bring us down. The fears are what cause disease. The fears are what allow our systems to get out of balance. I mean, there's we can be in balance and feel well, or we can be completely out of balance and not feel well. But if there's fear there, there's even less of a chance of feeling well, right? So it really is about the body as much as it is about anything else. And this duration is really about keeping the community together and finding ways for everybody to work in the community. But as you probably realize, many of us have gotten away from that. Many kids grow up and they leave their family, their communities, and they go off to somewhere else. Why? Because of money, usually, right? Because there's a better job, or a better mate, or a better opportunity, or a better school. Any of those things can happen, and usually it's around money. And so because society has gotten so enamored with money, right, over the past few centuries, the communities have broken down, and we've all seen it, right? Most of us do not live in communities that are as durable as they used to be. And so if we can get back to that, if we can get back to those types of communities, give up the need for the big cars and the big houses and the big whatever the money is buying us, and focus more on communities and being together and having a garden and making it all work in a way that really that's sustainable, that's peaceful, that's going to feed and nourish people, and not only on a physical level, but on an emotional level, on the mental level. Those are the kinds of things that this gate is talking about. So Richard says, true success means no longer being ruled by the concept of success and failure. If we're in a community and enjoying ourselves, the success and failure is the success and failure of the community. And then you don't have to be as concerned about that. He also says, as we listen to the great wisdom of our ancestors and of the indigenous tribal cultures, we will once again find our correct inner spirit. And so that's something to think about. But again, it's the duration, the durability, the finding a profession, a skill, a talent that works for you, that helps the community, that's part of the community perhaps, that is really helping the community, making money, of course, putting a roof over your head, feeding your family, but also being part of the community. So it's kind of a very community-based kind of energy there this week. So some of the people that were born this week included Nietzsche, Ralph Lauren, Lee Iacocca, who I found is one of the business people's name who popped up, that actually did make a lot of money, but also was able to raise up again the auto industry in a way that helped everybody, and certainly helped the community of Detroit, because it was really not in great shape when Iacocca took over. Noah Webster, who started the first one of the first dictionaries, Dwight Eisenhower, Martina Navratilova, Chuck Berry, Sir Roger Moore. Ralph Lauren was certainly a businessman, and a number of these other people were as well. And so this week in history, we had a few things going on. I couldn't find any particular that were business oriented, but certainly there were community efforts. 33 miners had been trapped in a mine in Chile, and they were rescued. Also, yesterday, you might have heard on the 13th, William Shatner went into space at the tender age of 90 and was part of the Blue Horizon initiative with Jeff Bezos and had a grand old time, apparently. In 1947, Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier. In 1878, Thomas Edison founded the Edison Electric Company. So there were a few things that happened. Also, Gorbachev won the Nobel Peace Prize for his work in reducing Cold War tensions. In 2008, unfortunately, it was October 16th was the day that the Dow dropped quite a bit. It was the second largest drop in the Dow's history. And in 1901, President Teddy Roosevelt started a scandal because he invited a Black leader, Booker T. Washington, to the White House. And really that he was one of the last people who were invited as a Black leader to the White House for quite a long time. It was also the time when, in 1933, was when Albert Einstein immigrated to New Jersey, to Princeton University, to continue his career because he was feeling the pressures in Germany. So so think about how this week, how you can be part of your community, how you can be perhaps a bigger part of your community, how we can create durability and sustainability and peaceful communities. It's always a challenge. I will admit it. I live in a community and it's a challenge, but in the end, it's nice to be in a community. It's nice to feel like you have people that you can depend on, that you feel like you have neighbors that you like and enjoy spending time with, and that you are a contributing part of that community. That's what this week's energy is about. So I hope you'll take a little think about that and have a great week and do be well. Take care.